So for our apple crumble, the first thing that we need is around 4 to 5 large apples. You can take whichever variety you have with you. Right now I'm taking ambrosia and a bit of red delicious. It's up to you, whichever variety you have you can take. The sweeter the apples, the less sugar you need to add. Uh, the next ingredient is brown sugar, or you can even take white sugar, about 100 grams of sugar would work. So for 4 apples I take around 4 to 5 teaspoons of sugar, if you want to calculate in that manner. Then we have cinnamon, about a teaspoon of cinnamon, and juice of half a lime so as to bring out the flavor of the apples, and then half a teaspoon of salt to sort of blend all the flavors and balance everything out. So what I'm going to do right now is, before starting to make the actual apple crumble, I'm going to cook this on the gas stove for 4 to 5 minutes. So I'll combine everything and cook it for around 4 to 5 minutes. So here it is. So I'm going to let it cook for 4 to 5 minutes on the gas stove until the water secretes. So one thing to keep in mind is that you traditionally need to remove the apple peel and then dice the apples, but because it's a quick recipe and I feel that the peels are really nutritious, I tend to leave the peels of the apple on, and as such they are not bitter, or they do not tend to take away anything from the apples. So that's the reason why. So let's keep heating this up, and I'll get back to you when it's in about 3 minutes, when it's fully simmering and oozing out the liquid from the apples. So at this time you can notice that the liquid is oozing out of the apples and they are becoming a bit softer. Okay, so now the time when I'm going to add, not too much, just one teaspoon of either arrowroot powder, arrowroot, or all-purpose flour if you don't have arrowroot. Yeah, so then I'm going to mix it. Okay, so the reason why we add the arrowroot or the all-purpose flour is to thicken the liquid that has oozed out of the apples. So the sauce that is then formed is not that liquidy. So we're done with the apple now, and we'll be turning off the flame, and let's go ahead and make the crust. Okay, so now we're ready to make the crust. For that you need a big bowl and these ingredients. So I use all-purpose flour, around a quarter cup of oats flour. If you don't have oats flour, you can always grind the oats that you get. So I prefer to use sprouted oats, and around 250 grams of butter, a cup and a half of brown and white sugar. So what I have done is basically I've taken half of both. It's up to you. And then you have cinnamon, 1.5 teaspoon, and you have vanilla extract of two teaspoons. So now I'm going to combine all the dry ingredients and then add butter and the vanilla extract in this bowl. So here I'm mixing all the ingredients together. So the dry ingredients are now mixed. So in this recipe, the best part is you can always make it as per your liking. So for instance, some people prefer to have more apples and less of crust. You can do that. If you want more crust and less apples, you can do that as well. So let me mix everything up and then come back. Okay, so now I'm mixing it and I'm trying to make it of the consistency has to be crumbly, because of course it's apple crumble, but something similar to the cookie dough. So I'm going to continue to mix for another minute, and then we are going to add 1 teaspoon of water so that it remains moist at the time of baking. This is the time when you should start to preheat the oven. So I'm also going to preheat the oven to around 380 degrees Fahrenheit. Preheat the oven and come back. Okay, so now the dough or the crumble is of proper consistency. This is how it should be. Should actually be crumbly. So we are bringing everything together, and it smells so good because we've added the vanilla extract and the cinnamon. So now is the time when you need to add just about a teaspoon and a half or a teaspoon of water so that it remains moist. And there we go. So it's time to combine all the ingredients in this dish. So what I have done is I have greased the sides of the pan because the crumble tends to stick. So I've only greased the sides, and let's do it. Let's bring everything together. So I've put all the apples in the pan now, and now I'm going to spread the crumble over it, on top of it. So here I have spread the crumble on top of the apples now, and it's time to put the dish in the oven. So you can increase the quantity of the crust and have a thicker crust, and you can also increase the quantity of the apples alternatively and have a thinner crust. This is what I prefer. Here I've set my oven to around 380 degrees Fahrenheit for 33 minutes. I'll see it will take between 33 and 37 minutes. So let's put it inside. There we go. And wait for 30 minutes. Okay, so here's the apple crumble. It's all set. So it took me 33 minutes, and I had to reduce the heat to 350 Fahrenheit after 10 minutes. So as you can see that the crust is pretty crumbly, and it's very crispy, and the taste is just out of this world, and the aroma is amazing. Okay, so here you can dig into it, and I can dig into it and show it to you. This is how it is. So you get a piece of the crust and the apples. Now the thing is, you have to be patient with this. You have to let it rest for 45 minutes before you actually consume it. So you can see that the crust is pretty crisp and the apples are juicy. So here's the apple crumble. As you can see, it's very crispy from the top and gooey from the inside. So here's the apple. Yeah. Here are the apples, you can see this. So I hope you guys make this recipe and you enjoy as much as I did. Thank you all. See you in the next video. Bye bye.